Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is Rideshare Buddy UK and my name's Kevin. It's Good Friday today and it's 10 to 11. I'm just on my way down to Celtic Manor for the Tesla to do a charge. I've got 80 miles left and 29%, so I'll just top it up to 90% for today. The weather's not great, cloudy and rainy, but not a lot of rain. There is a severe weather forecast due out for Newport later this afternoon. So, I don't know what to do. Do I go over to Chepstow and see what I can get in Chepstow? It is a bank holiday weekend, so it should be quite busy over there. But the weather would keep the walkers away. Or do I just patch around in Newport for a day? If I remember rightly, last Good Friday last year wasn't particularly great. So if I potter around Newport and it's not happening, I could go home early. Whereas if I'm over at Chepstow, I really need to make it pay for travelling that far. It's 14 miles there, 14 miles back. So I need to make sure I'm earning to warrant that extra mileage. I don't know. We shall wait. And we shall see. I shall think about it while I charge up at Tesla. Well, that decision was easy enough to make. I've just come to the Tesla at Celtic Manor and all the Tesla chargers are fully in use. So I'm going to have to go down to Mega to Ionity and charge at Ionity. So if I'm going to go to Mega, I might as well carry on and go to Chepstow and work Chepstow today instead of Newport. We'll go out to Mega, do a charge, switch on Uber and see which Uber wants me to do. Will Uber send me to Newport, or will Uber send me to Caldecott, or will Uber send me to Chepstow? We shall wait and see. But we definitely need an Ionity supercharger station in central Newport, or even a second Tesla supercharger station in Newport. Newport is so expensive for chargers because the council don't know what they're doing. They're running around after all of these, another 90 to 120 3 kilowatt slow chargers going in at 50p a kilowatt hour. Who's going to use them? These are the lamppost chargers. Nobody's going to use them. Too slow, too expensive, too messy. I mean, one of the times I used the slow charger, when I went back, the cable had some dog has shat on the cable, and the cable had to be cleaned before I could put it in the boot. I don't use slow chargers. Most people without home charging don't use slow chargers. They use ultra chargers, and that's what we need. And what we need are ultra chargers on a par with petrol and diesel prices. There is only 2 companies who provide ultra chargers on a par with diesel and petrol prices. One is Ionity at 43p, and the other is a Tesla at 43p. Anybody else means that if you take an EV, not only are you spending excess money on the actual EV, you're spending excess money on charging it every time. So until Newport gets its act together, the things it's doing at the moment, getting these 50p kilowatt hour slow chargers overnight, they're not going to do anything to encourage people to go to EV. Nothing at all. You get the EV evangelists who will walk to the moon and back to plug the car in, and they'll say, oh, everybody will do it. No, they won't. I'm in the second wave, on the mass market, and I won't plug in overnight at 50p a kilowatt. I want my car to fill up the same way you do with petrol. You go to an ultra charger, you plug in, you pay the same price as petrol, and you drive off. That's what I want, and that's what most of the mass market will want as well. The mass market buy a car for the convenience. They don't want to park it 10, 20 minutes walk away to charge up. They won't walk the 20 minutes. I won't walk 20 minutes to a charging point. I won't walk 10 minutes to a charging point. I want my car outside, ready to use, when I want it ready to use. This slow charging lark, it's a waste of money, waste of taxpayers' money. Right, so we've been able to get onto Ionity. It's not a problem here. It can get quite busy bank holidays, but fairly quiet here today. So, plugged in. It's going to take about half an hour to get up to 90%. That's going to take me to 11:45. Once I hit about 80, 85, I'll switch on Uber, and we'll see where Uber wants me to go. Does it want to go Chepstow or Newport? We'll wait and find out. Well, I really don't know where to go. I've had the Uber app on for about 10-15 minutes. No jobs come through at all down at Ionity. So, I'm going to take a decision right now. And I'm going to Chepstow. We'll see what happens in Chepstow over the next couple of hours. If there's not much work coming in, I'll just come back to Newport. I had a quick look on the Google spreadsheet, or Google Sheets, I think it is, where I keep all my records. And last Good Friday, I did about £106 in 8 hours. Not a great day. And since then, of course, we've had a 30% cut in fares to drivers. So, if it was as busy as it was last year, knock £30 off that, I'm going to be doing about £75, £76 in 8 hours. Yeah, it's not good. That's less than £10 an hour on a bank holiday. So I'll come into Chepstow, try a couple of hours. If there's no work there, I'll go to Newport for a couple of hours. If there's no work, I'll cut it today and have the rest of the day off. I'm not going to sit out for £10 an hour or less than £10 an hour on a bank holiday. Far better things to do. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock, well, 1 minute to 12, and I've just hit Chepstow. I'll give it 2 hours till 2 o'clock, and we'll see what it's like at 2 o'clock, how much I've done. If it's not worthwhile staying here, I'll head back to Newport and do 2 hours in Newport. If it's not worth doing anything there, I'll call it a day, cut it quits, and go home. Right, first job's just come in. It's 3 minutes past 12 from the centre of Chepstow out to the St Pierre Hotel. £8.73 or something like that. So let's get rolling. Hopefully I'll have a few more to do today. Right, I'm not going to do a full ride-along video with the music and scoreboard up at the top today. I'll do one on Monday, Bank Holiday Monday, because it should be a busy one on Monday. I'm just going to do an update every couple of hours. So in 2 hours in at Chepstow, 2 minutes past 4, we're currently on £55.54. I think it's £55.54. 3 jobs. We did that first job that I mentioned from central Chepstow out to the St Pierre. That was an Uber X Priority, £8.76 for 3.37 miles. I then had a follow-on job from Caldicott going into Chepstow. That was £23.77, which included a £5 tip. That was an Uber X Priority going 6.18 miles. And I'm just on my way back, just going over the old bridge from Bristol, because I had another job then for £22.89, basic Uber X job, from Chepstow to the other side of Filton in Bristol. So that was £22.89 for 13.92 miles. So just got up to 2:05, just coming into Bristol, back into Chepstow, 2 hours, £55.54 or something like that. So £55, not a bad start. So I'm hitting about £27 an hour, which in a basic Uber X car, because we don't have comfort over here, is okay. Not great, but it's okay. There is an Uber Quest on this weekend. It started at 1 minute past midnight today, going through to 2 minutes before midnight on Sunday. I've got to do 9 jobs and I get £10. And then there's normally a follow-on if I complete that. So I'm on 3 jobs so far, another 6 to go. I might do that today, you never know. Okay, so it's 3:15 now, an hour later, and we're beginning to lose our hourly rate. Just done 1 job in the last hour. That was for, let's have a quick look. I'm currently on £72.15 after 3 hours. And the only job I've done is Uber X from Chepstow to Undy. Hold on, 6:03 just come in. We'll take that. But that job was 11.03 miles, £16.73, and I've just got a £6 job coming. So let's get this one done. Okay, so it's 4:05. Been out for 4 hours, or working for 4 hours. £79.19, which means I'm now below £20 an hour, and that means I'm below national minimum wage. So that last job I did was £6.04 with a £1 tip, taking up to £7.04. Local trip from Two Brewers pub into central Chepstow. 7.04 including a tip for 1.04 miles. But as I'm now earning less than national minimum wage, I'm thinking it may be time to leave Chepstow and maybe head down to Newport. I'll give it to 4:30. If I don't get a decent job by 4:30, I'm going to head down to Newport. See if it's busy down there. If not, we'll call it a day. There is a job on OTS which looks quite interesting, which I did initially look at taking from Tony Pandy tonight at 6:30. From Tony Pandy to Bristol Airport, and then it's 7:30 from Bristol Airport back to Tony Pandy. Now we've got the one going out is 1 passenger, no luggage, and the one going back is 2 passengers with 1 hand luggage. So I think it's somebody going out to meet someone at the airport for the Easter break. Going out, it was paying £86, and coming back was paid £85. It's a big difference. So it was tempting to put in a bid. It was basically just a wait and return. So it would have been a decent job. But there are delays on planes today. I do know that. Things are packing up. So you could be waiting for an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours for that return trip to go back. And I don't really want to be out too late tonight, so I've let that pass. It was quite tempting. I wouldn't. It was tempting. So give it another half an hour or 25 minutes, and we'll see where we go. Do we stay or do we go? Okay, so it's 5 o'clock. I'm going to have a couple of minutes break, take a walk around Tesco's, and buy some zip locks, or tie locks, zip ties, and sort out this loose wire that was marked up as dangerous at the service. Just zip tight to something just to get it out of the wheel well. But clawed back a little bit, but not by much. 5 hours, £99.93, so still under the £20 an hour mark, which means I am definitely under national minimum wage. So not great. But what did we do in this last hour? Right, so we did £8.59, which was from the Two Brewers down to Chepstow Central. And after that, we went from Thomas Street, the bus station in Chepstow, out to Tinton, just past Tinton Abbey, just by the Tinton rail station. So the first one was £8.59 for 1.09 miles. Standard Uber X. And the second one to the Tinton was £12.15 for 6.53 miles, another standard Uber X. So how am I doing on my quest? We have to do... Oh, I've done 7 out of 9. So another 2 jobs, and I'll get a £10 bonus. And after that, I'll then go on to another £7 bonus if I do another 5 trips. But let's take a walk up to Tesco's and get these Ziplocs. Just stretch my legs for 10 minutes. And then we'll continue. So I got my cable ties, or my Ziplocs, or whatever they're called. So I'll have a look at that tomorrow. I'll get underneath the into the footwell and sort that wire out. I'm not going to say it late tonight. It's not worth it. I mean, this £99.93, that's pretty much £20 an hour. After my expenses, I'll be making about £12 an hour on that. And that excludes putting money aside for holiday pay and sick pay, so I'm well under national minimum wage. If I was making £30 an hour, I'd stay out and work it. But not at what, £11 an hour? £10.50 an hour is what I'm really making? Nah. So I'm not going to hang around too long. We'll see if I can get anything to take me back to Newport. And once I stay getting close to Newport, we'll call it today and take the rest of the evening off. Well, that's it. I've got bored waiting for a job. Any job. Nothing's coming in. It's 5:45. All that I'm doing now is I'm just sitting down and just watching my hourly rate get tanked because there's no work. So I'm going to go straight back to Newport now. Forget about Chepstow. There's no work in it to keep me going. I've got 2 jobs I need to do to hit the quest. So I'll hit Newport, and I'll try and get a couple of quick little jobs in, just to take me up for that quest, that 9-job quest, to get an extra tenner. But yeah, I'm not staying out for this sort of money. It's a bank holiday. I would be looking for at least £30 an hour turnover for a bank holiday. I'm not getting it, so I'm going home. So let's head back, and I'll give you one last update once I'm back home. Okay, just butting in here because I forgot to give details of the last 2 jobs. On the way back from Chepstow, I got a job from the Tesco's distribution centre, or the Booker distribution centre at Caldicott, going down to England. That was £11.95 Uber X, 5.22 miles for £11.95. I then had a Ringland up to Bainswell. That was an Uber X, 5.23 miles for £9.06. And that took me up to my 9-trip quest, giving me a £10 bonus. So let's continue with the video. Well, that's it. Me finished now. It's 22:07, so 6 hours 40 minutes, and I've turned over £130.94. So just a tad under £20 an hour, I think that works out at. So working bank holiday Friday, Good Friday, and I've earned just under national minimum wage. Not great. So this is the reason why I'm going home now, because there's no money in it to keep me out any later than this. And had I known it was going to be this low, I probably wouldn't have come out at all, to be honest with you. But that's the way it is. I don't know if I'm going to bother working tomorrow. Don't know if I'm going to work Sunday. I don't know yet. Definitely be coming out Monday. Bank holiday Monday is always should be a pretty decent bit of workload because there's no buzzies. But we'll see. Because I might, rather than go to Chepstow, I might go down to Barry Island because the last bank holiday Monday that I was at Barry Island, I did very well in. So we'll see what the weather's like. If it's sunny, we'll go to the island. But that's it. Thanks for watching. This was Good Friday. And a day where I just about maybe squeezed minimum wage, but probably not.